Hello, and thank you once again for joining us. This is Sonia with Fresh Approach Fitness, a wellness company. I'm actually working on a name change, and here's why. Because lately, I've realized that what I actually do is help you keep your promises to yourself, taking your life from unbearable to unstoppable. So help me out, guys, with any kind of name change you can think of, whether it's a fresh approach or whatever it might be. Keep that in mind. But first of all, I want to thank you so very much for taking the time out of your day to join us today. Question for you. What would make it easy? So I just came back from a morning run, and I had a run and then I took the dogs for a walk. So as I was walking back from taking the dogs for a walk, I decided to open up my umbrella outside, and I'm pushing this button and I'm pulling it up and I'm like, I can't get it to work. And all of a sudden I released the button and I just pushed up the bottom of the umbrella. That's it. All I did was really push it up a little bit and opened the umbrella from the inside. No effort. Just a different way of looking at things, and I'm like, wow, it's that easy. Friends, how many times in life do we make things to be so much bigger than they actually are? We expand what we think is necessary. We expand our limiting beliefs and we believe them. And then we spend all of our time focusing in the wrong areas. And then we wonder why we're not getting anywhere we want to be, right? Does that story sound familiar? We kind of believe that because we've been uphill with a few things in our life, that we are continuously going to be going uphill with everything in our life. So we're expecting things to be difficult or challenging. And what if it was easy? What if it was all easier than what we're making it out to be? That thought came to mind just a few minutes ago, and I had to share that. It wasn't the premise of my podcast today, but I think it's fitting because of what I do want to talk about. Take that same thought and leave it in mind. And what I do want to talk about, and this is touchy, so if you have this is a sensitive subject. I'm just going to leave it at that. Nothing good or bad, just sensitive. So I want to ask you, who would cry when you die? Who would cry when you die? Now let's go back to the umbrella and making it hard. We are spending most of our lives in time and space and thought and action in areas that truly do not matter. They're not bringing us joy. They're not fulfilling us. And we are spending time with people that won't even cry when we die. What kind of dreams are you working on fulfilling? Or are you? Are you working on getting by every day? Or are you actually thriving every day? Are you living your absolute best life? Putting one foot in front of the other? Have you thought about what you want to be said at your eulogy? What kind of impression and legacy you're leaving behind? I understand there are the world greats, and I understand that there are some people that are just honestly very content with living their life every single day just the way it is. 100% wake, hustle, repeat, and that works for them. But that's not you, is it? If that was you, you wouldn't be listening to this today. So, what is it that you want to leave behind? What is it in your life that you would like to be easier? Is it your health? Is it your bank account? Is it time freedom? Yesterday I spent the day, not the day actually, maybe it was only a couple of hours really, with my oldest daughter and my grandson. They came by in the pool, we hung out, we played outside, and I made myself a promise. I said, if I was going to spend some quality time with my family during the middle of a day on the summer solstice, which was absolutely perfect and beautiful and fitting, then I was going to work in the office at night. I create my own schedule. I want the schedule so I can spend time with my family. Time is the one commodity we really don't get back. Ever. We can't buy more time back. If you work for a good company, you might be able to exchange holidays or days without pay or whatever that might look like. But you pretty much have to beg, borrow, and steal that time that is yours, that you are giving to someone else in exchange for money. But are you making memories with that money? Yes, of course. There's other value to that money. And we'll talk about that on a different day. I understand that we need money. I totally get that. I do money affirmations every single day, saying how grateful, thankful, and happy I am for money in my life and what it does for my life and how it has enabled me to live my life. I am very grateful for money. And this isn't about money. This is about your legacy. This is about making your life easy. This is about absorbing all of it. Mind, body, soul, all of it. From every single thought you think to connecting with the right people to help you make it easier. This is about, instead of struggling with that button on the umbrella to lift it up, to just simply open it from the inside, and within seconds it works. There are areas in your life that are going to be easier. There's 100%. There's a different way we can do things. There's a different way you can set up your schedule. There's a different way, a fresh approach. See, we're going to keep that name somehow. I just don't know what it looks like yet. So, friends, what do you want different? Think about that. Close your eyes for 2 seconds. Take a couple deep breaths. Go with me here. Close your eyes. Breathe from the diaphragm. Get your belly button in and out. Ready? Let it go. Bring your shoulders up. Bring them back. Bring them down. And another deep breath. And let it go. Keep your eyes closed. And I really want you to think, what's the first thing that comes to mind? What is the legacy you want to leave behind? What, and I don't mean physical things, but what's the memory? What's the storyline that you want people, your future people, your grandkids, your friends, your family, what do you want them saying about you? Like your eulogy. And don't ask my brother this question because he's totally polar opposite than me. When I asked him that, he said to me, he goes, what would I care? I'm dead. Yeah, not what we're going for here. Roll with me on this exercise, okay? With a personality like that, and there's nothing wrong with it, that's closed-mindedness. Okay, I can tell you what I'm going to say about my brother already. He likes to fish. He is aloof, and he likes to be alone. That's about it. And he likes dogs. Like, I don't have a lot to say. He doesn't have a lot to say. So I'm sure something will change at the end of the day in another 40 years or 50 years or whatever his story looks like. But in all fairness, he is right now up north spending the summer, or 6 months of the year at least, taking people fishing, loading them up to go fishing, this really cool fishing retreat thing. I'm not into fishing, so I'm not speaking the language here. I don't know what it's called. But like they're bringing helicopters and planes and coming in and fishing and then spending the time there and then leaving. I'm sure they're doing other activities as well. So as much as he said that, I know he absolutely loves what he's doing. I know he absolutely is beaming as he is helping people do what he loves to do best, fish. So you can apply this to every single part of your life. You can ask yourself, can it really be this easy? Or what would make this easier? Or what if? And then today, right now, starting today, because we definitely want to start today with building that legacy in your mind and daydreaming, letting yourself daydream as to what it could look like when you die. I know it's morbid. Again, it's not what I mean to be, but what legacy are you leaving behind? What memories do you want to be sharing with your great-grandchildren or with your children? What, when you've got that storytellers sitting there and you're sharing your life experiences, do you really want it to be, I worked 50 hours a week? I overheard my dad say yesterday, or my mom say over the weekend on Father's Day, that my dad worked so much that the taxes made it, that he had to pay from working so much when he worked on the weekends, because he worked all the time, didn't make working worth it. So he worked so much that it didn't make working worth it for the taxes when he was younger, when we were all younger. So there isn't a benefit of overextending financially. You might have some money come in, but it's not a lot if it moves your tax bracket up. And it means you're not spending time with your family, if that's what's important to you. I mean, I want to say it's important to you if you have a family. You just might not have your priorities in order, because it's easy to lose track of that. It's easy to chase the paycheck. It's easy to want more. It's easy to always want to climb the corporate ladder or that social ladder. But what if you stop today, think of that big picture, that legacy, that life, and you get a really, really good visual as to what it is that you want to do with your life. And then we're going to reverse engineer. And then we're going to create a vision board or think about what that looks like, and then take the right actions to help you get there. So of course it means a good solid job so you can afford to pay for that lifestyle, or so you can afford to retire. Of course it means balanced health, which means you're not spending time in the hospital or sick in bed. And if you are sick, you bounce back pretty quickly. Of course it means time freedom, right? Where you're able to do whatever you want with your time, especially as you retire. However, more and more people are starting to flip that script and realize that time is the highest of all of the commodities. Time is the biggest piece that we don't ever get back. So, when it comes to time, when it comes to putting everything into perspective, use your time efficiently. Find out what's a time waster in your life. Who are the time wasters in your life? Who brings you energy and joy? What scenarios bring you energy and joy? What books bring you energy and joy? And what kind of movement brings you energy and joy? Because remember, we need to keep those three components in perspective. Balanced health, elevated finances, and time freedom, right? We need to keep those three parts balanced. Because without good health, it doesn't matter what's easy if you can't get out of bed. Without good health, it doesn't matter what legacy you want to leave, because you won't be able to do anything. So you need to take care of your mind, body, and soul. And think of the 4 pillars that I always talk about: meals, movement, mindset, and your relationship with money. That's why those are so key. Those are so key because without stress, you can go ahead and effectively work towards your goals. So stress is the mindset and the money piece, right? Taking care of your physical body comes in terms of movement and meals. So, what are you going to do today? Are you going to just daydream and see what thoughts come to mind about what it is that you're looking for? Or what legacy you want to leave behind? Are you going to just flip through some magazines and cut out some pictures and just see what comes out? Do you have an idea? Are you going to journal that out? You've heard me talk about my cottage. The fact that I would love to have a lakefront waterhouse cottage and retreat one day. The reason why I want this is I want this to have a spot where my family and my kids and all of us, first of all, I want to be able to leave that as part of my legacy and my will to the whole family. But I want it to be a place where people can go on vacations that normally can't afford to go on vacations. And I'm not saying I'm not going to rent it to anybody or lease it or whatever to anybody, but I specifically want to make sure that it's accessible to almost everybody financially. For instance, like I said, my dad worked a lot growing up. We didn't go very far. We went to Quebec, drove 14 hours to watch TV in a different language, and we did have some time hanging out with family and doing different things. I remember vividly snowmobiling. I remember vividly going 4-wheel driving with my dad, and it tipped, and then I tipped first into the pile of horse poop, and then my dad laid it on top of me, and then the four-wheeler laid it on top of us. Yeah, of course I remember vividly there being some memories, but I also know that our life, just like most people's lives back then, was consumed, and this is still true for people today, was consumed around our jobs. Our priority in life was our paycheck. Our priority in life was being accustomed to somebody else's schedule. Our priority in life wasn't to follow our dreams, but was to do what we were told. My friends, what does it take to inspire you to do something new every single day to get out of that paradigm? There's nothing wrong with that paradigm if it works for you. If that safety and security of a full-time job and working for someone else works for you, don't step away from it, because that's not at all what I'm saying. I definitely don't want anybody coming back saying, Zonya said, not at all. That's not at all the point. The point I'm trying to say is, in your other time, actually, before I go there, don't be a slave to your job. Are they going to cry when you die? Is the company that you're working for today, that may or may not be giving you so much stress and has all of these expectations, and that takes your pleasure away from you on a Sunday afternoon when you are going back to work on Monday, are they going to be there and crying at your funeral? Probably not. Will they even know your name in 6 months or in 6 years? Probably not, especially if you're in a sales role. I'm kidding. Hopefully they do. Hopefully you're in one of those companies where you're building and growing forever. And I'm not bashing companies. This isn't what I'm saying. But what I'm trying to get to, big picture, is you are in charge of your life. It is up to you to create your legacy. It is completely up to you to set your sails and to jump on your boat and to do whatever you desire to do in your life to make your life easy and fun and worth it. Because here's the thing. What's going to happen when you don't? What's going to happen when you stop? You're not going to know what to do with yourself. You're not going to know what your hobbies are, your friends are. You're not going to know what to do with yourself. You're going to be bored. You're going to be restless. And you're really going to believe 100% that your only value, your only sense of value came from collecting a paycheck. And I know this to be true because I too went through that. I too struggled through that when I went from working full-time to working completely full-time on my business and being able to have my own CEO schedule. And that's not easy. There are no easy transitions in life. When we have the courage to jump in with both feet, to follow our dreams, or to live our best life, it's not necessarily going to be easy. We're going to be tempted. We're going to be teased. Everything might stop all at once in terms of resources coming in. And then you might shake your head and wonder what you did and what's going on. But you are creating your legacy. You're creating your own personal story. You are not a victim. You are a victor. You, my friends, can design your life your way. Whether it's a cottage, whether it's a boat, whether it is just a beautiful home that makes everybody feel so loved and welcomed. You can do this. This is completely up to you. It doesn't have to be hard, but you need to know which direction you're going in. So again, let's go back and think about how we can take all of this information and tie it into practical implementation. First thing I want you to do is I want you to let yourself daydream. Just again, close your eyes, think, fast forward 50 to 100 years or whatever it looks like to you. What do you want people to stand up and say at your eulogy? And ignore the noise. I don't care if you're in COVID or if there's no eulogy, no funeral, whatever. Just go with me on this example. Ignore the noise. What do you want people to say about you? Do you want them to say that you're a good mom? Do you want them to say that you were amazing, that you left a legacy, that you did podcasts, that you like to play with your family? Like, it's up to you. It's completely up to you. I know some of the things I want people to say about me. I want my values to be mentioned. She was highly motivating and inspiring and tenacious, and she did so much, and she was creative and wrote books and never, ever, ever stopped believing in herself, no matter all the adversity that came her way. And that's the thing. Other people are watching. Your children are watching. Your friends are watching. Your coworkers are watching. Are they watching you be in an arena of sorrow and sadness, or of joy and happiness? Are they attracted to your energy? Is that the legacy that you want to leave behind? So, are you making life more challenging for yourself? Ask yourself that. Can it be that easy? Like the umbrella story at the very beginning. It can be that easy, I promise you. There are some components in your life that can be that easy. So for instance, today I'm like, I'm not even going to get dressed. I'm just going to have a shower and put a swimsuit on. And then I'm like, oh, no, I can't, because I have a client that I'm meeting today, a new person we're meeting for lunch. And not even a client, just an acquaintance who I met online, and we're meeting at lunch. So I'm like, okay, so instead I'm going to put on something pretty, curl my hair, look good. But this afternoon, I'm probably going to put my swimsuit on and chill out and enjoy this beautiful first full day of summer. But then, you know what that means? I'm going to have to do something for work tonight. So that's because I want my business to bloom. But I am in charge of my schedule. And my time does look different. And it is 7:30 in the morning, and I've gone for a run. I took the dogs for a walk. I meditated, and I did personal development, and now I'm doing my podcast. Yeah, I'm okay. I am completely okay if I decide to take 2 hours this afternoon and not do anything, because I am living my life. But when I say I'm not doing anything, what am I really doing? Am I really there soaking in the sun, doing absolutely nothing? Or am I playing with my dogs? Or am I playing with my grandson? Or am I having quality time with friends and family? Am I just recharging so I can give the best version of myself to everybody that wants or needs me today? Really, think about that. Because you are worth living your very best life now. It's up to you to create your legacy. And there's going to be a point in your life where you're going to have regrets. I am here to help you step away from that. I am here to help you make it so you don't have those regrets and it's not too late. To make a powerful impact on the world and in your family, and more importantly, in your world. What matters to you in your world? Friends, take a look at my link tree. I'm going to post it up here. Go ahead and do one of the assessments, the questionnaires. I'd love to be able to support you on your journey, help you design your life your way, creating the very best life for you. Your story matters. And I want you to live your happily ever after with yourself and whatever that looks like for you. So I started sharing with you about the cottage. My goals actually changed. As much as I want the cottage, I don't really have a screaming desire to have it right away. My desire now is to explore and to travel more with my mom, to tell you the truth. I found out recently that nobody really wants to travel with her. None of her friends, and my dad doesn't really want to do much for traveling. So she's kind of given up on that, thinking it's never going to be possible for her. She's going to be 76 next month in July. Her birthday's a day before mine. And now I'm completely motivated to travel with my mom. So, when I get clients, I now have a travel savings jar. Well, not yet, but I will be. I've got some making up to do. Just like the rest of you, life happens, right? I did take a big leap, and I had a lot of belief in myself, and I had a lot of people remind me that I'm on the right track and doing big things. And this happens to all of us. The difference is I am willing to share my journey. I am willing to let you know where I'm at. I am here to support you, my friends, and whatever those dreams and goals are. And just because you have one and something else ignites you for even more, it doesn't mean the one goes away. It just goes to the side. Traveling with my mom is more important than having a cottage for other people, or even for my own kids right now. The markets, first of all, can go down a little bit. I need to save up a little bit to go traveling with my mom, and there's no way I can buy a cottage right now. So that can go to the side. I can do that one day, any day when the right perfect storm hits up. But in the meantime, I can open up my calendar so when my mom wants to visit, she can visit. When my dad wants to pop by and visit, he can visit. I spent 20 years away from my family. Not that I didn't see them at all, but I didn't see them the way I'm seeing them now. And for me, this is what matters right now in this particular moment in time. This is how they're really going to truly know who I am and what I do and what I'm capable of. But more importantly, it's the conversations that happen behind the scenes as we're sitting there over sparkling non-alcoholic wine, because you know my mom's story by now, and laughter and just watching the surroundings and just being together, whether we're in our backyard, in their backyard, or on a walk, or exploring somewhere. My friends, make it a magical day. It's actually Wednesday. I might be moving these podcasts to Wednesday mornings now. We'll see. You'll definitely be still getting them once a week. It's the timeline I'm just trying to figure out as I'm making so many changes to my schedule. Because remember, you are the CEO to your life. A CEO knows where her money goes. A CEO is fit and trim. A CEO is in charge of her schedule. Are you in charge of your schedule, or is your schedule in charge of you? Because every single thing that you put in your schedule, you had said yes to. Think about that. That was an eye-opener for me. And now that I think about that, it's like I've reflipped my schedule to fit my life. And I don't care if that means getting up super early or what that looks like. All right. Have yourself a fantastic week, and I'll see you again. Well, I guess I won't see you unless you catch me on YouTube or you follow me on some of my socials, which are on my link tree. Don't forget to do one of the free assessments in there and set up a time for us to chat.